Hello everyone, I am at Livermore today and joining us is Livermore Mayor John Marchand, Alameda County Superior Court retired Judge Brenda. We have Michael Johnson, who is running for the next judge for the Alameda County Superior Court, and we have Joe Johal, the Indian American Community Representative and the National Chair of APAPA, a wonderful non-profit that is supporting Asian Americans. So welcome everyone to Yo India TV. It's a beautiful occasion and we just heard your wonderful speech and a lot of good Q&A interactive session with the attendees.
Not everyone wants to be committed to being impartial, to being fair, to being just, and to being transparent. As many of you know, I'm dealing with that with my opponent, who has aligned himself with a public official. That is a major no-no. We do not do that. That impacts the impartiality of the court, that impacts the public's perception of fairness and equality, and there's certain canons and rules that prohibit that.
I'll start with John on my right. So what's the best thing that you like about Michael?
What I appreciate about Michael, who's running for judge in District 12 for Alameda County, what I really appreciate about him is the passion that he brings. I mean, when he speaks, you can feel that. And that's what we need, someone who has that passion for justice and that will continue to support public safety in our community. And that's why he has my support.
So Brenda, you have served as the Alameda County Superior Court judge for 27 years. I mean, that's like a lifetime. That's a big number. What qualities of Michael have impressed you the most?
What has impressed me most about Michael is his ethics, his ability to make sure he follows the law, and for having the courage to do it. And I want to reassure all of you, this is the kind of judge you want on the bench. You don't want a judge who's going to have his decisions or her decisions swayed by which way the political wind is blowing at any given time. Because when you do that, then one day it may be blowing in the direction of things you believe in, and the next day it may be in the direction of things that you just absolutely find just disgusting. Michael is going to be the kind of judge who will follow the law. Doesn't mean that he necessarily agrees with it, but that's what you do as a judge. You don't decide cases based on your personal opinions. You decide cases based on the law and on the facts before you. And when you have a judge who can do that, and who will do it every time, knowing sometimes that his decisions or her decisions are not going to be very popular with everybody, then in the long run, our justice system is better served all the way around. So go out, tell your friends and your family members if they're wondering, should I vote for Johnson or the other guy? Vote for Johnson. We met to make sure that he is true to his role as a judge. You find a lot of judges who want to cross the line. They want to curb political favor, and they forget that their job is to serve the people, the citizens, and to follow the law first and foremost. And that's what I appreciate about Michael. Not only is he smart, not only is he hardworking, not only does he have the presence, he looks like a judge from Central Casting. If you say, send me.
You mean the persona is good?
Yeah, the persona is good. And I know that he's going to do an excellent job on the bench. The county will be in very good hands with Judge Johnson.
So as an Asian American representative, as a CEO of Wendy's, you've been leading the community in many ways. And what impresses you about Michael the most?
His, I think, number one quality is his persistence. Like we were talking earlier, it is not the most sexiest election, and people don't want to get involved in the judicial election. Then it's tough, and they're not career politicians, so he doesn't really know what to do as far as how the process works. So I'm glad to see so many people here today. His commitment, his discipline, And just like the judge talked about his ethics, I think all those are the keys. We always talk about representing our community, being represented, from ethnic groups that we are, as the communities are. But like Michael said earlier, they got to be qualified. We don't want to put people in positions who are not qualified, also even get them in the race, because it takes resources. Every time you get a person who's not going to win, you're wasting resources that could be used for a person who's qualified. So we need to be better in educating who should be running for the seats, at least have some kind of criteria for that. And secondly, getting behind the ones who are going to win, not the other ones. And he's definitely going to win.
Those are really wonderful endorsements. And from YoIndiaTV, I just did some research on you, Michael. And I would like to give the viewers a very brief intro before I have some really easy questions for you. So Michael Johnson has over 30 years of legal experience and is currently based in Oakland, California. He is the current temporary judge appointed by the Alameda County Superior Court Judiciary, in-house and assistant vice president, senior legal counsel for 2 Fortune 500 companies, general counsel and board member of the Charles Houston Bar Association or the Charles Houston Bar Institute. He is known for being diligent, trustworthy, and accountable to the public, holds himself to a high standard of excellence, and is devoted to public service. He is impartial and respectful in his actions, procedures, decisions, and treatment of all who come before the court, and provides visibility on how decisions are made to all parties and attorneys through regular and clear communication. And of course, he is running for Alameda County Superior Court Judge position, and the primary election is on March 5th, 2024. So, with that brief intro, what would you like to talk to the viewers about yourself?
No, I think you've pretty much said it all. I mean, throughout my career, I've done my best to remain ethical, to work hard and be diligent for my clients, and as a temporary judge, to be fair and impartial to everyone. That'll never change once I have your vote on March the 5th. Thank you.
So you have won several awards and recognitions like Earl Warren American Inns of Court Best Program Award by Earl Warren American Inns of Court, Service Appreciation Award by Charles Houston Bar Association, Service Appreciation Award by Alameda County Bar Association, Minority Bar Coalition Award by California Minority Bar Coalition, and most important, and I think it's a very big honor, the President's Volunteer Service Award by the President of the United States of America in conjunction with the Corporation for National and Community Service and the Points of Light Organization for Community Service, and the award was given to you twice. That's pretty impressive and a long list. So give us some highlights about your community service that led to a rewarding turnaround.
Through a Charles Houston Bar Association, I've had the opportunity, I'm a life member, had the opportunity throughout my career to do great things for the community, helping folks, for example, through lawyers in the library, for folks who can't afford legal aid or legal assistance, helping them navigate the system, through 100 Black Men of the Bay Area, reaching out to youth, as well as other indigent folks in the community, for healthcare, for medical, and just to help out the community any way I can. And then finally, reaching out to the youth in the mentor programs through De Anza High School and in Oakland Tech High School for those who want to try to look at the law as a career. So those are the highlights.
Perfect. So despite tons of legislations in force, some mischievous people always find gaps and flaws and are not afraid to break into the system with their malicious intent. What are your thoughts in tapping the bad behavior from its root and preventing the spread before it makes a big negative impact than just punishing the culprit?
Well, I mean, I think that question really is for our legislators and lawmakers and elected officials. But as a judge, they need to know that when they come to my court, I will be abiding by the law 100%, like Judge Brenda said. And I will apply the law 100% in the guidelines that I'm allowed, and I have some discretion, but they need to know that I will never waver from that.
Wonderful. So what are the most popular types of crimes that you see in Alameda County?
That I see as a temporary judge?
Yes.
You'll see like vehicle infractions. You'll see, I don't deal with like misdemeanors or felonies, but you'll see a lot of vehicle infractions, a lot of substance possession, things of that nature. As a temporary judge, that's what I see.
So, any examples of an interesting or good to learn story for the viewers?
A quick one. As we said earlier, Alameda County is very diverse, and there's about 50 plus languages in this county and about 10 plus Asian languages alone. I was sitting in traffic court recently, and a woman came and appeared in front of me, had a speeding ticket and something like that. And, I asked her how did she want to plead, and, was going to rule in her case, and she kept saying and it came apparent to me she didn't understand English. She didn't understand what I was talking about. So I stopped everything, didn't have the matter go forward, reached over to my clerk and had an interpreter appointed for her, so the next time that she comes she'll understand what's going on, what the charges are against her, and how to defend herself. And so that's how I approach everything all the time. People need to know their rights, but more importantly they need to know what's being said. So that's the most important thing.
So there are 14 cities that you'll be taking care of as a judge in Alameda County. As a temporary judge, have you ever noticed any differences like by the city? Like this kind of a crime rate is higher, and then you can probably recommend the mayors of those respective cities on some preventative action or something.
Well, I mean, crime is crime no matter where it is. But as a judge, I can't make any political recommendations to elected officers. I can just only, do what is in front of me as a judge. So hopefully they'll do their best to address the issue.
So if the criminal is really fierce and trying to scare or influence the judge, how would you deal with that?
Do I look like I get influenced easy? No. Case by case basis. Want to maintain a decorum in the courtroom. Let folks know that that type of behavior is not going to be tolerated at any time, and just maintain that throughout.
So last but not the least, it is a basic belief in American society that black people are more robust and capable of playing tough at a crime scene. So BLM was one of the retaliation of this prejudice. How would you deal with someone in an opposite case, say someone who does not respect King Martin Luther and looks at you with suspicion as a judge?
That's a lot to unpack. Again, not being political. I just, since you quoted Martin Luther King Jr., just the content of my character as opposed to the color of my skin. Just to see a judge that's fair, that is not partial, that applies the law in all cases and maintains a dignified and respectful courtroom. That's how I want them to see me.
Wonderful. So by now, you would have really made up your mind to vote for Johnson for Alameda County Court Judge. And we got so many wonderful endorsements. There are more endorsements that you can look up on his website, the candidate website that he has come up with. But from the horse's mouth, why should people vote for you?
Well, for all the reasons everyone said earlier, I won't reiterate them, but I'm honored to get that. My website is www.johnsonforacjudge.com. Please visit it, donate, and hopefully vote for me on March the 5th. Again, that's www.johnson, Johnson, for foracjudge.com.
Wonderful, and all the very best.
Thank you.
Johnson is, I'm an ethnic studies professor at Chabot and at Las Lucidas, and I get a lot of students of color who want to be lawyers and who want to get into criminal justice and administration of justice. And I just want to say you're quite refreshing to be here. Thank you. By you being on the bench, it will certainly send a wonderful message to students all across Alameda County and the region, that when they walk into a courtroom, regardless of the side that they're on, that they're going to see a judge of color that represents the community proud and that can really do an excellent job. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you very much for saying that. And you raise a really good point. Out of the 71 judges, I believe, 71 or whatever they're sitting, I think only 4 or 5 are African American males. When I win, knock wood, I would be replacing one. Now, granted, they just appointed one other one, so the number changed a little bit. But the importance of that is you want a qualified person in there. That's number one, which I am. We want a qualified person of color in there, which I am.
right, that enhances the public perception of everything, right? You've heard of a jury of your peers. It's great to have a bench of your peers of all stripes, right? And I want to enhance that. I want to add to that. It's all about public perception. It's all about optics in the sense that you want to go to a place where it's not just all monolithic and it doesn't, you don't feel like it represents you or helps you at all, right? Part of this whole thing is to make it so that, government is that way.
I think impartiality is what we're talking about right here a lot. How do you bring trust back into the system? So there's a lot of distrust maybe from people that are going into the system. There's distrust maybe from people in this room about the system. So it's to piggyback off my last part of how do you keep that impartiality without being political? And we'll end on a hard question, right? I'll tease a little bit. So how?
Just maintain the same behavior and ethics and code that I've had before being on the bench, till after, as I will after the bench. Get me elected, and you'll see.
Understood.
Okay, thank you all.